Hey, Jody here in beautiful BC. Today I'm going to be titling my post as Taking Action is What Moves You Forward. The reason that I'm posting this, and I'll get to that story because I do, of course, love to tell the stories and everything of how other people and myself have succeeded in different things. But first I want to ask you a couple of questions that I've been getting quite a bit with my online business. And to answer those questions, I'm going to be asking you two, maybe three questions. Number one question is, have you ever bought an item on eBay? Okay. And I know that we do. We've had an eBay in my husband's name and my name for a number of years because obviously we've bought some items off of them. And the other question that I have for you is, how did you pay for that? If you answered PayPal, these are the two biggest requirements that I have with people working with me, is having an eBay account and having a PayPal account. When I started this business actually a couple months ago, we had a joint PayPal set up, and I had my own PayPal. However, I did not have my own eBay. So I had to build up my business a little bit just to get around, having some items sold and things like that when I first started to get my items up on the eBay side. But it's worked out really, really well. Now, again, like I said, back to the beginning of this, and number three, I guess, is that if you have those things, you are basically set up already to join me in my business. Okay, so that's a cool thing. Now, what I had said earlier is taking action is really important in any business. And taking action on what you've learned is probably what's helped my consultants and my team members and people in my downline in any of the businesses that I'm in, or have been in. I'm only in one business right now. And that is definitely taking action, okay? I once had a consultant quite a few years ago when I was selling candles, and she was a perfectionist. Okay, so she came to our monthly meetings in my home because that's the type of business that I ran before, not all on the internet like it is now. And she had come to a couple meetings, and she hadn't even had her first show yet because our team at that time, we were doing home parties with a candle company. And I asked her, why haven't you even done a show yet? And she says, well, I'm not finished reading the manual. And so that story just kind of reminds me of people who have to read everything and think that they have to be perfect at it before you start doing it. And I want to say that that is such a myth and a big load of caca that we feed to ourselves. Okay, you do not have to be a perfectionist to start something. You just need to start. When I did my first show, and this is what I told her, because of course there's hope for all of us that we can learn something new. And what I had told her is, I hadn't read through the whole manual when I did my first show. In fact, I brought the manual along with me, and I literally read from the manual doing my first show. When the manual said, do this, so I was reading it out. I'd be like, do this, do. Oh, okay. Now I'm supposed to do a door prize, which, by the way, I forgot, so I had to come up with one there, Johnny, on the spot. And my results showed right away. Like, from my very first home party I ever did, I did over 400 in sales, had 4 bookings, because in the manual, it said to do that. It said, okay, right now, as for people who want to book parties. So I looked around the room and said, who wants to book a show? And I got 4 bookings. So don't let your fear of something new paralyze you from moving forward. The biggest thing in my new business, which is I teach and coach people on how to sell items on eBay, the biggest thing is to get some listings up. That's the only way that you make money. And you're going to do it probably really crappy in the beginning because we all did. You're probably going to have some returns or refunds or whatever. But you know what? That is part of doing business. That is part of growing. And the people who move forward in business are the people who take action. Okay? So if you've been sitting on the fence and you've been watching my YouTubes, or you've been, you know, I know us Canadians lurk on Facebook. If that's you, I'm going to encourage you today to take some action. Just get started. It's not a very expensive business. And like I said, I help and mentor the people who are on my team. But ultimately, you are the one who's responsible for your own results. All right, so that's it. Take care. Have a great and fabulous Saturday. Jody here in Quinelle, BC.